shows how important it is to care and to make efforts to bring up education for children, and Save a Child is one of them. Save a Child is a new organization, but is based on a lot of enthusiasm and positivity and kindness. I just want to start talking about the fact that my passion for human rights and children, specifically children's education, has started 15 years ago when I started to get involved with different NGOs and non-governmental organizations and trying to promote education and to promote it as a human rights for every child to have this. As we all know, it is a part of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Article 26 talks about the fact that every child has the right to education, and education shall be free for all children, no matter where they are, what gender they belong to, and what race they are. So this is important because quality education aims at developing a balanced set of capabilities of children they require to become economically productive, develop sustainable livelihoods, contribute to peaceful and democratic societies, and enhance individual well-being. I have spoken to two of the UN Secretary Generals, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and Secretary General Antonio Guterres. And for all of the time that I've spoken to these two wonderful gentlemen, the issue of children's education was the topic of our talks. And both of them, they dearly understand the fact that if we want to have a better world in our future, this starts from the children's education. However, I know all of us know how important it is, but I would like to bring to your attention the efforts that United Nations has put together in year 2000 and called it Millennium Developmental Goals of the United Nations. And I just looked up some numbers here as the universal primary education that was the goal for MDGs from 2000 to 2015. It's very interesting, when they started in year 2000, only 83% of the children they wanted to be in the schools, they were at schools. When they ended that in the year 2015, they were able to increase it into 91%. It's not still 100%, but it increased into 91%. It shows that when governments get together, when civil society and NGOs get together, when private sectors get together, they are able to increase the goal into what they wanted to increase it to. And that's a very important point. Unfortunately, right now, according to United Nations reports, 262 million children are out of a school. And that's still a not good number that we all can be proud of. Therefore, from 2015 to 2030, there are the Sustainable Developmental Goals of the United Nations that 193 countries, they signed off on it to make sure they put all their resources into it to achieve 17 developmental goals for the world. And one of them, number 4, is education, is quality education. And that's very important because I'm going to go over that, but I want to read this. Sustainable Developmental Goal number 4 is to ensure inclusive and equal quality education and promote lifelong learning for all. And that's the goal number 4, that the world is putting it together to make sure that we all achieve it by 2030. And listen, one of the arms of the United Nations and the civil society are the NGOs. NGOs like Save a Child is like you, dear friends, who are together to make sure this happens. So all the civil society members, NGOs, private sectors, government agencies, UN agencies like UNICEF, all of them all working together to make sure this happens by 2030. Now, let's just look at some of the points here that why does education matter? I have 10 points for you, so bear with me. I'm going to go quickly to make sure we cover all of them. Number one, education is power. When children attend a school, their brains grow, their minds expand, and their eyes are opened. Education has the power to change the world if we let it, by allowing every child to have access to learning. Education is the first step to cross-cultural understanding. Geography, history, social studies, these are all standard topics taught in schools across the world. The more we understand the world, the more information we have at our fingertips, the greater our opportunities to see what life is like for the other. Education builds confidence. As a psychologist, we know how confidence and esteem is important for every individual. When children learn to read and write, they become confident in their ability to succeed. Each question they answer correctly solidifies their abilities and their confidence in themselves. Education combats poverty. With education comes opportunity, most importantly, job opportunities. Higher education prepares children for a wider range of jobs and occupations, giving them the ability to change the cycle of poverty for their families. Education promotes a healthy lifestyle. Children are introduced to nutritional concepts at schools. They are encouraged to be active, and they begin to understand the importance of wellness. Children who attend the school, they are taught about values, morals, and ways to solve problems. That's why education fosters decision-making skills and critical thinking. Education contributes to the development of interpersonal skills. A school is the first structured opportunity children have to bond with other children their own age, with rules and guidelines of how to properly act around and treat one another. And yet, we are living in a world that we are talking about racism. We are talking about sexual assaults. These are the things that children can learn at school. Education develops professional skills. The more you learn, the more you earn. As we learn, we begin to innovate, initiate, and consider all the professional opportunities that lie before us. Education builds character. Attending the school helps us learn who we are, what we believe in, and what role we play in the world. This sense of self is essential to personal growth. And finally, education can change our future. Going to a school does not only affect the future of children themselves, it affects the future of their families, their friends, and their communities. As more children are educated, the world becomes a brighter place. And we all know that. You guys are here to help that happen, to achieve the United Nations SDG number 4, Sustainable Development Goal of United Nations. Save a Child soon, I will make sure of that, will be a part of United Nations ECOSOC, an agency of the United Nations, and it will have the voice at the Human Rights Council in Geneva to make sure that the right of the education is well spoken about for every single child in the world. So I do also invite you to join Save a Child and help this goal to be achieved. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. We really appreciate it. You know, every sentence that you share with us is just, you know, comes from, you know, your years of experience working with, you know, children. And I took lots of notes. totally agree with you. You know, education could help the kids for, you know, expanding interpersonal skill, have confidence, build the character, build their thought, their belief, oh man, and change the future, and finally have a better place to live, better world to live and love. Doctor, thank you. I cannot find a word to express how I'm thankful, and the whole, you know, this charity is thankful and appreciate your time. We know that you're super busy, and I really appreciate, you know, for giving us time. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. And I do appreciate, give me back my host.
All right, now you gotta help me with that.
You know, if on the right corner of Save a Child under my name, there is a blue icon mark.
Yes.
If you click on it, then you could give it back to me and put me as a host.
All right. Make host. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Again, thank you. You know, you did a great, amazing job. Thank you. You know, before we will have a break there, you know, for having some stretch, making coffee, and don't forget to write down your questions. So we will have 10 minutes of break. But before that, I would like to thank the other people who help us, you know, by all their hearts, and they were really influential, and I respect them. And first of all, I want to thank, you know, Vice President Behrouz Najarian. He is an amazing guy that works, I can say that works day and night for this charity and for putting everything ready for this, you know, event. Thank you, Behrouz. You know, he brings years of experience. And the great things about him that I personally appreciated a lot, that he has 40 years of experience in working in huge oil and gas project in Asia, Europe, Canada, both as an engineer and a specialist in inspection and quality control. So yes, we had a man that was, you know, making sure everything is just in the right place. I really appreciate it. And the other things that I really admire about him, other than his hard work, he always has this profound feeling of giving back to the community, to people that some he may know and some he may not. But one way or another, surely he believed that they had a huge role in any possible way, helping him getting through the ordeals in life. And in his opinion, all can have the same feeling. He believes as a minimum payback, he needed to be in an organization having a vision of supporting children who sooner or later will be built up infrastructure of the world's future. And there are other people that you cannot see them, but they were really influential and supportive and help us a lot for establishment of this charity. We have Mr. Jahan Qaimi. I hope he is here in this amazing moment. Muhammad Ali Rizazadeh, these two people are the pioneers of this charity and help us a lot and devote their times to this charity a lot. And we have another gentleman who was really influential, and his gift to this charity will last forever. I can say that he sacrificed lots of his time, even the family time. He has a newborn baby. He has lots of responsibility in his business, in his home. But, you know, he last month he joined us and he did an amazing job regarding the setting of our website and all the technological support. He is so humble that he did not want to be introduced and recognized. But I could say that, man, we are so thankful, and without you, it was not possible to have this gathering. Thank you. There are other people that contribute to this charity a lot, and I hope by seeing a